Hi everyone, I'm Kayla. I'm the founder of Explorana, and I'm here today to talk to you guys about my most recent blog post, which for some will definitely come across as a little bit confusing. What's an organic handbag? What does that mean? And also, why is it important? What's the big idea, right? So the whole premise behind an organic handbag is the idea that in today's society, we see so many bags that are plastic-like. They have coatings on them to make them look like patent leather. They have coatings on them to add durability, perhaps, but the end result is usually bags that are very structured. And don't get me wrong, I love a structured bag, but they also give off a very rigid feel and almost a plastic feel. And in a world where we're surrounded by plastic 24/7, this isn't always desirable. Some of us are starting to lean more towards being real, eating organic, bringing back realness into our lives, and being more sustainable. And one of the ways to do this is by using products that are sustainable as well. That's why this designer in particular is so amazing. She's bringing back the whole idea of organic and real into something that you wouldn't really normally consider ever that being relevant in, which is handbags. Her bags, I'll show you today, are very natural feeling. When you open them up, fresh and new, they smell strongly of leather. It's one of those scents that I find, at least as a handbag connoisseur myself, that it's just fading in the industry. Cool thing about Cueropapel&tijera is actually that when you feel the leather, it feels real and it feels natural. So even though perhaps leather isn't considered something that's normally organic per se, it is definitely something that can give you that natural feel. I'll show you a few different types of coatings that they have on their leather, and obviously they come in a bunch of different colors, but the whole idea is that it just doesn't feel as plasticky as what we see today. We want to have real and natural back in our world too, and that's what Cueropapel is all about. Here we have three bags. I have a Michael Kors here, and I have a Kate Spade, and then I have my extremely well-loved Louis Vuitton. So forgive the quality of my bags. These are some of my favorites, and I have had them for a long time. And then over here, I also have two bags from Cueropapel's collection. This one here is the Yerba Buena, and it shows you a lined interior, and this one is the Basico, which shows you an unlined interior. So first, I'll just zoom in here on the Kate Spade. Kate Spade's awesome because they are super structured bags, but they do have a lot of that plastic element that I was talking about towards them. You can see, especially here, it kind of comes across as like extremely glossy, definitely has that plastic feel towards it, and you can also see on the straps how they're coated in plastic. This is obviously kind of to add that clean look to the bag, but it also does just add another plastic element. You can see here too with the Michael Kors, again, super structured bag, but the Michael Kors does have a little bit less of that plasticky feel in my opinion. You can see them compared here. The Michael Kors is kind of more poured and wrinkly and kind of does still resemble leather, and when I got this bag, it did smell strongly of leather to me, which is important, right? If you're buying an expensive bag, you want to know it's real leather and not question that, and the smell is usually the best identifier of that. The other thing about the Michael Kors, of course, too, is that it is still coated on all the seams with that plastic, and obviously on the higher end bags, this lasts longer. And then lastly is my Louis Vuitton. So Louis Vuitton, I would consider one of the best bag brands out there, but even this Neverfull, you kind of see on the outside, it definitely has that plasticky look again, like very shiny, kind of patent coated. A lot of times that is, again, for protection and also because Louis has this print on it. But now if we were to compare them to the Cueropapel line. So here on the Basico, you can see it kind of has more of that break-in, supple-looking leather like compared to the Michael Kors. And then also you can see that the edges are unlined. So there's what I'm gonna call no funny business here. It's truly all leather and then some metal components, and on the lined ones, obviously there's linen on the inside, but totally natural, really organic feel. And again, you can see here on the inside, it's that exposed suede, which I personally really love because you just don't see that in bags today. All bags, at least sold in the US, are all lined with fabric. Usually I haven't really ever seen anything else, to be honest. But these ones are unlined, which gives it a really nice feel and probably is why they hold their smell so long. And like even the tag, right? The tag is made of leather, stamped leather too. So you can see when we bring the Basico into the mix here, it's very similar to the Michael Kors. Has that supple leather, that kind of dimpled look. Compared to the Kate Spade, it's similar, but you can definitely tell with the Kate Spade that it has a little bit more of a sheen and it's a little bit more of that plastic coating. And then if you come down to the Louis, you can see again, like the Louis is pretty coated and has obviously a little bit more of like a plasticky feel compared to the Cueropapel. So that's what I mean when I say an organic feel. You're not getting that kind of machined look or highly, highly refined look. It's more of an unrefined look. It's more natural. And here, the Yerba Buena. This one I picked because it is definitely looks a little bit more like coated leather than the Basico. You can see here the Basico is like much more like natural leather, hand cut, and the Yerba Buena is more like that, really refined and kind of more coated material. You can see it's a little bit more shiny than the Basico. And compared again to the Michael Kors, it's very similar, but definitely has a lot less of kind of that structured feel, especially when you compare how their seams are. So Cueropapel uses the leather to create a seam instead of using plastic. And then the lined interior is canvas, actually, which is extremely durable, but also environmentally friendly. So both of these bags are really great. They're made to last. They have those really strong clasp connections, and they're obviously very well created. They're handmade, and I think all of us can agree that usually when things are handmade, they're built to last. You get this really beautiful, organic looking bag and something that feels natural. It feels like leather. Not discrediting these brands whatsoever, just showing you that there is a difference between the bags we see on the market today and then the way Cueropapel is kind of changing the game with their bags. Because we don't really see kind of uncut bags. We don't really see anything that looks organic in today's market. And these definitely feel natural, organic to me. It's definitely ethically produced. Obviously, when you have big companies, you don't know all of their business practices, but for Costa Rica, they take pride in being sustainable and being environmentally friendly. And why they're so clever, why this is such a clever and unique designer that you should take note of. Awesome. Thanks, guys.